Welcome to Positive Energy with Crystals. My name is Hillary, and today we're going to talk about the crystals you must have as a beginner. What crystals should you go out and buy right away that you must have as a beginner, everyday practice? I hate this question. There's no answer. A lot of people say like amethyst, clear quartz, rose quartz, black tourmaline, and smoky quartz. And sometimes people say selenite. Some people say those are the crystals you have to have. As a beginner, you should go out and buy those. And when I first started working with crystals, I bought the amethyst, the clear quartz, the rose quartz, smoky quartz, and all the others that were recommended. Should I turn my phone off? I'm sorry. I didn't really connect with them. As you know, I prefer the banded or chevron amethyst, and I felt like I was connecting with the regular light colored amethyst, but So then I kind of felt like I was wasting a bunch of money on pretty rocks, but I was still drawn to working with them, so I didn't give up. Plus, there were other crystals I had bought that worked well for me. I think carnelian. I don't have a carnelian right here. Oh yeah, I do. Carnelian was one of them. I think black tourmaline, different piece, of course, than this one. And I think actually this amethyst was one of the first pieces. It came in a kit or something like that. And so I knew that I wanted to work with crystals. I wasn't feeling the connection to the others. So then why am I doing this video? And it's to tell a beginner how to find what their must-have crystals are. It's going to be different for everyone. So I found out, and even this one's a little dark, I found out a light purple crystal, light purple amethyst, didn't work for me. But the banded darker purple works great. I just recently found out that these light smoky quartz, and see that one's so light you can barely tell that it's a smoky quartz. You can kind of see the smokiness. Those really don't do anything for me, but the dark smoky quartzes, those work for me. Let's see. 10 years ago, I had no connection with a clear quartz. But in the past, I'd say probably about a year now, I have connected with clear quartz, and it works good for me. Now, rose quartz and we still don't have a connection. Not from lack of trying. We just don't get connected. I don't know why. So how do you know what crystals you should start with as a beginner? The best way is go in person. Now, I know not everybody has a crystal or metaphysical store nearby, but you don't have to go into a crystal or metaphysical store, and you don't have to spend a lot of money on your first crystals, or any crystals, really. The very first crystals I bought, let's see, it's this one, and these two. Slippery. I bought these from the Denver History Museum in their gift shop when I was, I don't know, junior high, maybe. You know those bins with the different rocks and crystals, so many in a bag or on a necklace as a souvenir? I bought these two banded amethysts, this piece of agate, and this hematite long before I even knew anything about crystal energy or anything like that. I was drawn to them. I felt like I needed them and that I needed to keep them in a safe spot. So I put them in a baggie and I put them in my jewelry box, and they lived there for a long time. I still have them, as you can see. Many, I don't want to say, but 30 years later, I still have them. Where we used to live, there was a souvenir rock shop up near a touristy area that I love to go to, and we still go there when we go to visit. It's a designated rock shop. Sometimes if it's designated as a rock shop, the prices are a little bit cheaper. Sometimes, not always, than like a metaphysical store or a crystal store, something like that. They usually have more expensive pieces too, but then they will always have the cheaper bins. Like a lot of my tiger's eye, I got out of their 25 cents each bin. It's kind of hard to explain. So you go into the store and you pick something up and you hold it. If you feel like you would like to work with it or that you have a connection with it, sorry, a little blurry, then that might be a crystal that you would like to work with. A lot of times I wait until I'm drawn to something. Like if I just can't stop thinking, this piece is a very good example. This was at a rock and mineral show. I saw it. It was towards the beginning of the first booth I looked at. I loved it. I kept picking it up, and then I put it down, and I pick it up and put it down. And I decided to go look at all the other booths before I made a final decision. I didn't want to just start buying stuff right away. And I got to the end, and I kept thinking about this one, and so I went back and I bought it. And the guy even knew because I kept picking it up and put it back down, picking it up, put it back down. When I picked it up, he knew I was there to finally buy it. So, if you're drawn to something, that's a lot of time that's a sign. Now, if you pick it up, if I picked this up and if I didn't really feel much about it, towards it, then I would think, now, this is kind of a bad example because I've already worked with tourmalinated quartz and I know I love tourmalinated quartz. I've done a video on it. If it was a crystal that I hadn't worked with before and I was drawn to it, then I might wait and go research it first. But that one I knew that I liked. So, if you pick up a crystal, you're drawn to it, but you just don't feel connected to that one, pick up a different one. And if it's the same, it may just be that you're not ready to work with it. So remember the name of it, write it down. A lot of people don't like you taking pictures of their labels. They don't want you, taking pictures of their displays and stuff because they think you're going to go look for it online. But if I can, I'll take a picture of the label. A lot of times when I buy a crystal, they'll let you take pictures of the label so you remember what it is. But just remember it, or write it down, take a picture if you can of the label, and go research it. If you don't feel anything right away, research it for later, or try again later. Maybe it's just you're not ready yet. So online is another option if you can't shop for it in person, especially if you don't have a good place nearby to purchase crystals. Like that rock shop that I was talking about, where I used to live, that was pretty much the only place, but it was a touristy thing and it was closed most of the winter. So during the winter, I had to look online. So you can scroll through the website, and a lot of times it still kind of works the same way. If you're drawn to something on the website, that might be the crystal for you. A lot of my crystals I have bought online, and I've been pretty lucky, although I've been working with them for long enough that I can tell um, sometimes on Amazon, I can tell if it's a good thing or not. Not always. Um, and I also know some websites, I'll give you those here in a minute, that I trust. Um, since you can't pick it up and hold the crystal, research it. Research all of its properties, um, and see if it's something that you would feel like that you need or that you want to work with. I would advise when you're first starting out, don't look at the more expensive ones. You may be drawn to them, but you may not be ready to work with them. And then you don't want to spend a lot of money and then figure out, oh, this is just going to sit on the shelf now and do nothing with it. So sit on it for a while, do more research with it, and if you keep coming back to it, then yeah, go for it when you feel financially comfortable purchasing it. Don't buy something that if you're looking for crystals to help you make money and you're spending a bunch of money on crystals, defeats the purpose. So, you know, pay attention to that. Um, when you first starting out, you should be buying crystals that you'll be working with right now. So you want to make sure that you're going to buy, if you're needing creativity help, look at carnelian right now. If you need help with anxiety, look at it. I recommend amethyst, but that's what works the best for me. You want to make sure that you're buying from a reputable site at first too. So I hate to say this, but don't buy like from little Etsy stores or Amazon. My favorite is Bliss Crystals. I'll put that link in the description. I've also ordered from Healing Crystals and Energy Muse. I haven't ordered from them for quite a while. I actually think my favorite pieces of amethyst came from Energy Muse in a like a combination pack. I will put their website in the description too. So in conclusion, start with, if you can, start in person if you can. Don't buy something just because it's on the list that says that a beginner should use it. It doesn't mean everybody's going to be able to work with the same things. You may connect right away with rose quartz. I can't connect with it. I highly recommend amethyst. You may not connect with amethyst. So don't buy something just because it's on a list that says these are the crystals you should buy right away. Buy what you are drawn to, what you feel you're connected to. Don't spend a lot of money on your first crystals. Do your research on the ones you're drawn to, and buy the ones that you're going to work with right away, not that you might work with later or hopefully work with later. I buy stuff just because now. My collection of crystals is huge. This one right here, it's yellow calcite. I haven't worked with it yet, although it's kind of hard to work with because it's a tower, but I don't even know what it's supposed to do. But I liked it, so I bought it. I can do that now because that's how far along in the crystal practice I am. Don't do that. Don't buy it just because when you're first starting out. Start with what you're connecting with, what feels good to you, and that you are going to work with. And don't buy, like I said several times, don't buy it just because some YouTuber, somebody on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, whatever said, buy these. These are the crystals to work with as a beginner. I recommend amethyst to a beginner, but that doesn't mean everybody's going to work with it well. And I don't want you to spend money on an amethyst, which amethyst isn't really that expensive. But if you're not going to connect with it, then it's not going to help you. So pick them up, feel them, research. Don't just buy because somebody says as a beginner you should have that. Do your research, including picking up and holding it. So that's my rambling on that question that I really, really hate. And it makes me angry every time I see somebody post it. But I guess I'm sort of doing it as a clickbaity thing. I'm sorry about that. But now you know. So it worked. All right. I will see you next time.